Hi guys, I've been following British politics for some time now, and I think the statements made by the Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, in the House of Commons on Monday are probably the worst yet. Yes, Boris Johnson has misled and lied to Parliament, but the toxic rhetoric that was on display was beyond the pale. Now, the Home Secretary began her statement describing how she takes the duty of care very seriously, but ended by describing a system that the Tories have presided over for 12 years as broken. She claimed that the public know that many of the asylum seekers are fake. These are things you would expect to hear from an ex-UKIP backbencher, not from the bloody Home Secretary. Have a listen to this.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. To pick up on some of the specific points that the Honourable Lady mentions, I'm not going to comment on any details relating to this specific case or the individual under consideration. But there has been clear work afoot with the NCA and all partners to try and tackle the problem of illegal migration. I'm very encouraged by the relationship that we have built with the French, and I'm grateful to the French authorities for their real commitment and work on tackling this problem. But it's absolutely clear that, as I made clear in my statement, that on no occasion did I block hotels or veto advice to procure extra and emergency accommodation.
Now, what she's referring to here is there are reports that she blocked the procurement of extra accommodation and the booking of hotels for asylum seekers. And this resulted in a backlog. This resulted in overcrowding at the facility in question, which led to riots, which led to civil unrest within the facility. Now, who should we trust? Should we trust the media, who have said that they have sources backing up the claim that she blocked hotels, and this resulted in this overcrowding in the facility? Or should we believe the one who breached the security protocols and the ministerial code?
Actually, the data and the facts are that on my watch, since the 6th of September, over 30 new hotels were agreed, which would provide over 4,500 additional hotel bed spaces, which will be brought into use. Since the start of October, over 13 new hotels will provide over 1,800 additional hotels.
Will provide. It's all future tense. No, what's actually happening now?
Bed spaces. So, and also since the 6th of September, 9,000 migrants have left Manston, many of them heading towards hotel accommodation.
Then why is Manston overflowing? Why is it overcrowded? You're talking about, so many people have left. Okay, but that's not dealing with the current problem. The current problem is that it's overcrowded.
Those are the facts. I encourage the Right Honourable Lady to stick to the facts and not fantasy. Madam Deputy Speaker, however, she raises some other points, and I would just like to say this, that my letter to the Home Affairs Select Committee sent today addresses all of the matters that she has just raised transparently and comprehensively. I've been clear that I made an error of judgment. I apologised for that error. I took responsibility for it, and I resigned.
But you are still there. This is so nonsensical, and we've heard it from her, and we've heard it from her supporters. She resigned. Sorry, she made mistakes, quote unquote. Well, if you want to call them mistakes, on a number of occasions. She resigned. Well, I think maybe she was fired, but okay, let's park that. And why is she still in her job? Why does nobody ever ask this question? Okay, you resigned, if we believe you. Then why are you still there? You were rehired. Now, why was she rehired into this position? I believe, and I've said this before, to keep racists and bigots happy. Because they like her. Because the Conservatives know that in order to keep a certain section of the voting public happy, they need to have as toxic as possible Home Secretary. And it seems to be working.
But Madam Deputy Speaker,
Does the House want to hear what the Home Secretary has to say? Home Secretary.
I apologise for the error. I took responsibility, Madam Deputy Speaker, and I resigned for the error.
Sorry to repeat this, but this is the sort of statement you'd hear from somebody who has resigned and has not returned to their position. Somebody who has gone. This is something a politician says when they've left office, when you don't see them ever again.
But let's be clear about what's really going on here, Madam Deputy Speaker. The British people deserve to know which party is serious about stopping the invasion on our southern coast.
And there we have it, invasion. This type of rhetoric, invasion. This is the type of rhetoric you hear from the National Front, from the British National Party, from Nigel Farage. An invasion. Are there soldiers involved here? Are they using military aircraft and military ships? Do they have generals leading the charge? This is not an invasion. Of course it's not an invasion, but she's using the rhetoric that the racists and bigots want to hear. This is the type of language you hear from UKIP. Who's in charge here? Is it UKIP or is it the Conservative Party?
Which party is not? Some 40,000 people have arrived on the South Coast this year alone. Many of them facilitated by criminal gangs, some of them actual members of criminal gangs. So let's stop pretending that they are all refugees in distress.
And this is once again the same language in order to keep the racists and bigots happy, or angry, as the case may be. Oh, they're not all refugees, but that's why you have an asylum process. People arrive, they claim asylum. If their claim is valid, they move on to the next stage, which is refugee status. If it's invalid, they are deported. That's what the system is designed to do. You are responsible for that system. If you don't like it, you try to change the system, but you have to work within international frameworks. Once again, you have to listen to what she's saying. This is no longer a dog whistle. This is a foghorn to the racists and bigots. Invasion. The system isn't working. These people aren't real asylum seekers.
The whole country knows that that is not true. And it's only the honourable members opposite who pretend otherwise. Madam Deputy Speaker, we need to be straight with the public. The system is broken. Illegal migration.
And who has presided over this broken system for the last 12 years? Your party. Priti Patel was using pretty much the same language before, when she was Home Secretary for a number of years. The system is broken, we need to fix it. It's these damn lawyers that we need to deal with. The system is broken, the system is broken. And I've said this before, this is about weaponizing this particular issue. You use the language like, the system is broken, to convince racists and bigots that you're the ones that will fix it. You tell the racists and bigots that, you know, there's so many people coming in, probably half of them aren't even refugees. That's what they want to hear. You know that if they're angry, they'll come out and vote for you. If they're angry, they'll vote against the Labour Party or the Liberal Democrats or the SNP or the Greens or whoever. They want the party that's on, that's on their side. They want a racist and bigoted party. Now, not all Conservatives are racist and bigots, but this is the rhetoric that's been presented to them.
Illegal migration is out of control, and too many people are more interested in playing political parlour games, covering up the truth, than solving the problem. I, Madam Deputy Speaker, am utterly serious about ending the scourge of illegal migration, and I am determined to do whatever it takes to break the criminal gangs and fix our hopelessly lax asylum system. That, Madam Deputy Speaker, is why I am in government, and that is why there are some people who would prefer to be rid of me. Well,
order! I should just point out that I can hear who's making the noise, and it'll be a long time before they're called to ask a question. Secretary of State.
Madam Deputy Speaker, let them try. I know that I speak for the decent, law-abiding, patriotic majority of British people from every background that wants safe and secure borders. Labour is running scared that this party might just deliver them.
And there you have it. There is no bottom left in the barrel, is there? You know, what did we hear here? We heard about how the system is broken, a system that the Tories have presided over, how there is an invasion, and how a significant number of people claiming asylum are not really asylum seekers after all. As I said, this is about throwing red meat to the racists and bigots within the Tory party base. And it's desperation. This is not a party that's in control. It's a party that's out of control. And I think it's going to be pretty quick when a quick decision for Rishi Sunak, because he either has to stand with her with this type of toxic rhetoric, or he has to throw her out of the party or throw her out of government. It's up to him now. The ball's in his court. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.